then we finish with I Teatri del Mondo con Lorenzo Palmieri, that is with us as the 6th Italian partner. The main goal of this chain reaction project is to empower the sector on networking at international level. We use the festival as a driver of internationalization, not only of the festival, but of all the Italian sector of TYA. Because the seventh but most important partner and crucial partner is Assetege Italia. And we have here with us Linda Airoli, our fantastic president. Thank you for being with us. So, last but not least, we have Eleonora De Caroli from Living, that is our secretariat that is taking care of all the practical stuff and to really collect the wishes, the information of our Italian members of Assetege Italia, and we try to connect them with the international level. This is a process that we are starting, and how does it work, the chain reaction that we want to set? For example, in Trallallero, Maria Giulia Campioli, that is the director, she invited 2 companies from 2 foreign countries, Slovenia and Croatia. And we asked those 2 companies to make a kind of nomination of host and guest that they would love to be in this chain reaction dialogue to help us to better understand which is the scene of the theater for young audience in their country. So it's a kind of the point of view from inside the country, and we try in this way to generate this chain reaction of relation and of networking to better understand how you produce, you create, and how are the condition of your sector. So you are something like the correspondent from your country empowering us. We do it each month, visiting a different country. In the 23rd of October, we will have a journey to Holland, then Netherlands, to the Netherlands, and then you will see what else. So all the people that are here are invited to join our journey, and we have a sort of schedule, a kind of a picture that we want to take to portray the situation that we will share with our Assetege Italia members, but we are open for sharing with all the people that will join this huge community of chain reaction. So thank you, Maria Giulia, for ensuring all this technology that even if it looks like it's easy, it is not. So thank you. And we know from text and messages that there is a fantastic energy, and this edition of Trallallero is really fantastic. And really after COVID, to have a festival like this, we need to upload to Maria Giulia and all the artistic direction of the festival. And the floor is yours. Ciao, Maria Giulia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are a lot of people here inside. I can't make you see them, but maybe after we will turn the camera so you will see the face of people here with us. And beside me, I have Peter, who's from Slovenia, and Morena Morana from Croatia. But we have also some guests online. I see Katerina Petsutar and Anya Petikosa, and I speak in German. I don't know what I am doing. Well, maybe we can divide this meeting in 2 parts. Let's start from a short, each of you, I will give you the word for 5 minutes, and so we make some tour in your countries and in your experience. You can introduce yourself, where are you from, and also I will in the first meeting about the situation in your country. So how do you produce or co-produce, and how the independent companies work. And then in the second part, we will ask you some more practical suggestions. really places where you have to go if you want to see the wonderful theater in Slovenia&Croatia, and 3 companies that you have to meet or something like this. Okay, so maybe I will give you the floor for the first intern better, and then we make a ping pong from Croatia and Slovenia. So we don't be leaving because I see that people here now after the gas that you have eaten too much pasta. No. Thank you.
So we would like to hear first about general production system that impact theater for young audience in Slovenia. So I think quite importantly, Slovenia, this gap between institutional theater and independent theater in the theater for young audience is quite big, and I think it's growing even more in the last years. This division is getting stronger. We have 2 strong institutional professional puppet theaters, one in Ljubljana and the other one in Maribor, which more Katarina can tell us later about. On the other hand, we have quite numerous small low-budget theaters that are actually performing camera. In the middle somewhere, we have stronger independent theater companies that are mainly based around some authors, and they take care of their work, their productions, and their post-production and touring. Well, funding for independent theater at the moment is really difficult. It's it will be probably more of a problem if the changes that are supposed to happen really do happen. The budget for independent culture should be cut in half in the next 2 years by our right-wing government. That's just on the political agenda right now. And that's probably why, because of these quite difficult financial and organizational problems that we have, we independent artists are turning towards co-productions, either to the both institutional theaters or to international co-productions with countries around us or wherever. So we are quite open to do that, and we have gathered along the years a lot of experience in this field of making international co-productions. I myself have been working like that for the last 10 years, working with neighboring countries, some also further apart like Taiwan. And I just see benefits of this. First one is that we are able to join funding for our projects so that they are even possible. A second very important one is that they allow us to do artistic exchange in our work. And the third one also very okay.
Yes, please. Thank you. It was really difficult to follow. Thank you so much.
Okay. Should I go from the beginning?
Oh, yes.
No.
We love you now.
Okay, much better. Super. Okay, so and the third very important factor here is that we have then better possibilities for post-production, because our partners can that with whom we do productions together are able to take over some of this work for us, and they open to us new markets. So basically, I mean, I think my 5 minutes is now almost over. So if you have any questions, I can answer them now or develop later on through the discussion.
Yes, maybe Maybe we'll let's make the question after, and now we listen all the single information. So Morana?
Yes. Shall I?
I'll give you this.
Okay.
I will hold it for you.
No. I'll put it over here. It's okay. So in Croatia, it's more or less like in Slovenia. I will just present myself. My name is Morana Dolinc, and I'm a theater director. And I have my own company that's called Puppet Organization that we need indeed, Loft. So I'm coming from this off scene in Croatia, and also puppet scene. So it's off, then off. Just in few words, I'm not sure if we have the same way of functioning in Italy and Croatia. In Croatia, you have national theater, city theater, private theaters, and then you have all companies that are functioning for themselves. We are trying to, of course, finance ourselves by our own, and we can also apply in different foundations like Cultura Nova, Ministry of Culture, and also city and regional natječaj.
Courses.
Calls. Okay, calls. So this is the base of the base. Of course, if there are also EU funding, and we can have co-productions with people in Croatia and also abroad. So that's also one way of trying to find partners and get some, maybe not just money, but also the venue for working and some kind of workshops and different ways of producing one performance. I'm not sure. It's really more or less like in Croatia and like in Slovenia. Sorry. After this, COVID didn't finish yet, but in these 2 last years, the most damaged scene was this off scene. So private theaters and small companies, they really had a lot of problems because they don't have regular finances from the state. So we were really struggling a lot, and I really hope with opening that it will get back to the old normal. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll give you the word to Katarina. From Slovenia.
Hello to everybody. I'm coming from Maribor Puppet Theater, which is one of 2 institutions dedicated to puppets in Slovenia. The biggest puppet theater is in Ljubljana, and our is a bit smaller here in Maribor. So apart from these 2 theaters, there is independent scene in Slovenia. Some puppeteers are struggling to survive on this independent field. Our puppeteers in Slovenia are connected in so-called institution for puppeteers. And we are organizing every 2nd year a National Puppet Festival, which is so selected performances, the best performances from 2 years are presented on the festival, which takes place here in Maribor, as I said, every 2nd year. This year we had 1 edition. And this is also the opportunity for showcase people, so for programmers from other festivals to join us and to see the best of Slovenian puppetry production. So if you are interested, it would be great if you can join us. So in 2023 will be the next National Puppetry Festival. And this is not only presenting the best performances, they are up to 15. They are shown in 4 days. This is a bit intense, but you have the opportunity to see in 4 days really the best of the best. And I must say then that from our national festivals, performances are traveling then to a lot of other international festivals. So if you are interested in that, you can write us and we can then send you an invitation in 2 years to join us as programmer, as showcase person to join us. I will put in chat the link to our website, which is also in English language. So you can check our website and see more of it. Here it is. So we have this National Puppet Festival, and every year we have small international puppet festival, which is in August, and we invite also foreign performances from all over the world, if it's possible. Of course, in those days it was not, but still we are really looking forward to present the performances to the audience, mostly Maribor audience. Our festivals is spread throughout the August on weekends. So it is not so much orientated towards towards professionals, but it is more the intention is to show the best of puppetry to the audience here in Maribor. And I must say that the tradition of our festival, which is now 32 years old, our International Puppet Festival shows itself in, we have really a lot of audience. And if you have the luck to have a festival for a longer period, you can then really see how the audience grows, how there is a lot of people really looking forward to August to attend the performances. During the year, we also sometimes invite performances from abroad, but during the season, we are trying to find maybe more performances for adults, which is maybe not the topic of this of the meeting today. But the rest of the program, so the festivals which I'm speaking about, and also the program of our theater, is mostly for children. So mostly for 3+ audience. Some of the performances are for really small, like 1.5 years up. And we also try to engage ourselves in performances which are for young in the sense of, I don't know, teenagers and adults. So this is shortly about the puppetry scene and about festivals. There is another festival in Ljubljana, also every second year. In the year when we do not have a national festival, there is Festival Lutke in Ljubljana, which is also very important festival for puppetry. Many of you probably know this festival also. And this is it. For children, there is most of the program for children is created in our two theaters, so in Ljubljana and in Maribor. Other drama theaters in Slovenia are producing very, like, one in a season maybe, or even not that. And of course, independent scene is also producing performances for children. But most of the performances are created in our two puppet theaters. This would be shortly about Slovenian scene. Peter can say something more if I forgot something. Peter is really, we are glad to cooperate with Peter Kus now for, we had really good cooperation also with Austrian partners, really nice performance. We did 2 years, no, just before the COVID, 2020, the beginning of the year. So we try to, of course, yeah, this is one thing which I have to mention, which is that we are really glad to cooperate with independent artists or with independent NGOs from the field of theater and puppetry, like Peter Kus and also Loft, Morana Dolenc. We also did really great performance, the English word, Morana, Wizard of Colors. Am I right? Yeah. So we often try to find partners to have these really nice cooperations, which are enriching our own theater. I don't know. I'm sure that co-productions are enriching our notion of the theater, and we are really glad to have the opportunity to collaborate. And also, we are also very interested in networking in the sense of festivals. Yeah, that would be it. I hope I was not too long.
No, it's okay. Thank you very much. I let the floor to Anya Petikosa from Croatia.
Hello, do you hear me well? Okay, so my name is Anya Pletikosa, and together with Morana, I'm trying to survive in Croatia by doing arts and theater for young audiences. So together with Morana, I'm working for a Loft puppet organization that we need indeed. And what we try to do is somehow to bring the whole puppetry and theater for young audiences to the next level. I think we are doing fine. We are trying also to network with other people in Croatia, such as Buga is here with us, for example. There is also more independent organizations who are, but also institutional theaters who are trying to work with us in order to move some things, to keep on going, to not to stay in some traditional and conventional theater, but like to open the borders and our limits and to try to do something which is innovative and maybe also challenging. But we are all we all have the same goal, and this is to develop the audience and to make some pieces for them which would be something new, so to say. So in Croatia, as Morana said, we have this situation with the institutional and city theaters from one point of view, and then independent scene. And what is difference from my perspective is that we from the independent scene, which are of course we have troubles with finances and try to keep on with some kind of sustainability, but it's really hard. But then at the same time we have big freedom. So when it comes to content and form, I think on this level in Croatia, there are a lot of performances which are really progressive and which try to make their audience critically involved in the process of watching and observing the theater, and also to think about the world they live in. So somehow I think this is important for all of us, more or less. Buga is going to tell you later on about her work and how she approaches to the youngest audience, early years. Now I would like just to mention a couple of problems which I find crucial for understanding what's happening in Croatian theater for young audiences. And one of them is post-production, especially on independent level. So it's really hard to keep on performing one performance more. And there is necessity to do it because the audience is changing all the time. But still, due to the lack of finances and also logistics and organizational problems, it's sometimes hard to perform more than a couple of times, which is of course pity, because when you have a nice performance as a product, you would like to perform more. So touring is possible, but it's hard work. And the other thing is regarding puppetry on more institutional level. There is a monopoly of really old-fashioned puppet aesthetics, and I mean not only we in Morana and me, but also some other institutional theaters and academy in Osijek, which is dedicated partly to puppetry. We try to somehow to change it and to open it to some new aesthetics and technologies as well, which is quite important. At this point, I would like to mention a regional platform I'm coordinating as a representative of Loft, and also Buga is involved and Peter is involved in this. It's called From the First Step. We were gathered around NGOs mostly, or independent organizations, which are working in this domain of theater for young audiences and puppetry. People from Serbia, Montenegro, Slovenia, and Croatia. And we established a web platform, so a kind of website which gathers and generates all the informations from the region. So basically what connected us is this wish to affirm and make the whole quality of our work better, and to also give visibility to people who do independently theater for young audiences, but also institutionally. And what gathered us all as well, apart from this mission, is our language, because we mostly share the language. Okay, Slovenia isn't the same, but we understand each other. So our wish was, when we started to work 2 years ago, our wish was to gather everything, all the actors from our countries, and to give them a platform for networking, for exchanging knowledges and education, and also ideas, and to try, of course, COVID situation somehow stopped us, but we continue doing it. And at this point, we are really focused on our region, but we would like to go beyond these limits or these borders of ex-Yugoslavian space, and maybe to go into some new ideas and into some new projects to make it bigger. But now at this point, we are like kind of trying to survive with these small finances we are getting. I would also like to share with you in chat, just to give you the overview of how our website looks like, but it's in Slovenian and Montenegrin, Serbian, Croatian language, so you maybe won't understand, but this is just to get the impression of how it's working. So maybe you'll have some ideas how to share our knowledges and maybe ideas, and also maybe to go into some new work or new productions or new networks. So yeah, that would be all from me. And I'm personally, I'm a theater dramaturg. I didn't say it, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Anya. If Buga Maria wants to say something more, if you want to add something from Croatia, it's a free Croatia, choose Slovenia. I'm sorry, but yeah. So.
Hello everyone, my name is Buga. I'm from Mala Scena Theater from Zagreb, Croatia. We focus mostly on, right now we're changing strategies. We're focusing mostly.
Speak louder.
Sorry? Can you hear me? Is it okay? Yeah? Okay. So
here online it's okay.
Yes. Okay, it's wonderful. And if you stay more nearer to the microphone,
okay.
maybe it's
Can you hear me now better? Okay. So we focus mostly on theater for children under 3 years of age. We are preparing now a premiere of a show for babies 3 months to 18 months. And also on adolescents, so 10 years and up. And I would like just to mostly, I would like to ask actually, I think we in Croatia need a bit of help because our Ministry of Culture is not very engaged in theater for children especially, and especially not for independent theater. And right now we have a problem because we actually cannot work. Most of our work is done in schools and in kindergartens. We at Mala Scena are very lucky because we do have our own space. One of the rare independent theater that does. So we can have shows for the public, which most of the independent troops can't. But still 80% of our shows are held in kindergartens, in schools, and our government currently didn't really give us any guidelines on how to do that because of the pandemic. We tried to give them some, also in front of the Croatian Board of Asitež, we tried to give them some ideas how we can do this. Currently, they wrote that on the official note for schools, they said that schools and kindergartens can go to the theater, but it's not recommended. So we cannot work. We were also, the independent artists were also the only people in Croatia who had to work to get support during the pandemic. Everybody else got the money from the government because it was the pandemic. The artists had to create projects to get money that could fund them during the pandemic. But my question, I know that in Italy you have a different situation because most of you are vaccinated, which is not the case in Croatia. We have quite trouble with that here. But still, there are no rules. So I was wondering how it's done in Italy. Do you go to kindergartens and schools? Do they come to your spaces? How it's regulated? So maybe we can tell our government, this is how it's done in Italy. So maybe we can do it here as well. I think that's our biggest problem right now. Otherwise, yeah, I think the independent scene in Croatia is still going strong and we are working and we're not giving up. But I love this international community because then we can gain experiences and use it, because also, you know, Croatians are kind of, we always like to look up to our neighbors, and we always think kind of that they're smarter than us. In this case, I think you are. So I would really love your advice and how you're dealing with this situation so we can try and copy you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if I have got any suggestions about having some rules and protocols clear for everybody, because also in Italy it's really, really difficult moment about the rules for the schools and the children inside the theater and everything else. But maybe we can speak about this in a few moments. I would like to ask you a little shorter moments about some suggestions, some practical suggestions. I make you some examples from if a company, an Italian company, wants to go in Croatia or in Slovenia. I listen. You talk a lot about puppetry, because I think that this is a characteristic of your scene for the young audience. A lot of puppetry is done in Croatia and in Slovenia, and now something is happening about innovations. But I think that the question is, there's a particular way that a director of a festival or programmers use to select the shows, or more languages that are more adopted, more used, for example, puppetry or musicians or concert or dance. What do you think about this? And you told before that you had some co-production with Austria. How is it with Italian companies? Because we met some years ago and we tried to make this network and try to work together, but is it possible or not? You have small countries with not so many inhabitants, but we are very near also. Sometimes we go to look at shows from Norwegia and Sweden, and we are nearby, and we don't know each other. So what you suggest for this?
So I think Katarina can help to answer this question a lot, as she's running 2 festivals, as you heard, and Maribor Puppet Theater. I would say the most important thing is probably to find people who are open who are used to look across the border and who feel comfortable with these international relationships, because I think a lot of theaters in Slovenia, although there is maybe as much as inhabitants in Slovenia as in Milan, a little bit more, maybe it's a really small country. But I see after these experiences I had with Italy, with you, with Ert Fave, I see that you are really more eager to seek and to look across the border than probably most of the Slovenian promoters are, with of course exceptions like Maribor as well. So I think the point would be here to look for the people who are really eager to collaborate and not force yourself to anyone. Yeah, because it's important that you don't just have a formal partner over the border just for the sake of it. It's important to have a partner who will stand behind your joint venture, joint work, and who will help you to get into the theater market, if there is one in Slovenia, and open you other doors. Maybe Katarina, you can add some advices here.
Yeah, that's true. But it's really strange. We are so close. I mean, neighboring countries, but for us, maybe Austria is. We discovered it earlier. We have we had some collaborations with CTA, Gorizia, couple. This is a long time ago, I must say. We were at Mittelfest like 5 years ago with one performance. As I mean, for our festivals, when the performances are for children, then the language is really crucial. It must be without words or with little words, or some known story that you can explain it to the children so they are not lost in foreign language. So this is maybe one obstacle in this collaboration. Otherwise, we are really open to new suggestions, open to collaborations. So we also have an actor in the house who speaks really good Italian. We made 2 great performances with one Italian director, Matteo Spiazzi from Verona. And we are planning to do more with him. So yeah, I mean, the language can be an obstacle, but it is also something which can be, we can go across this. I think we can go across this also. So yeah, we are here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the addresses for festivals, for collaborations. We would be really glad to have more collaborations because we are really close to each other.
Mm-hmm. Just to add something about the language. So we tour a lot across the borders with my shows, but it's mainly because they are kind of based around music, so the language there is less language than normally, but still we translate everything, and we play, I think, all of my shows in 4 languages. So that's a job you have to take, I think, just to be ready to learn shows in 4 language, even if it's Slovenian. I think it's possible because we also sometimes perform in the languages we don't really know well.
Maybe let's give the microphone to Morana.
Yes, so you were talking, I'll try to say a few words about festivals maybe in Croatia. So we don't have a lot of children festival in Croatia, but we have 3 or 4 of them are international. So they're open calls and you can make some letters or write to theater directly or apply to open calls. So it's Šibenik Children Festival. You have a 999 Festival in Zagreb. And there's also a puppet festival, PIF, who is taking place in Zagreb every September. So it's one of the oldest festivals in Croatia. I think that also for the first contact, you can contact our Asiter Center, who is now, I think, I shall say it started functioning good, really good now, and Unima Center also. And then there's somebody who will maybe give some other informations or contact you or connect you with somebody from the theater that you're looking for. As Peter said, it's really important, I think, to not to know, but to get to know somebody and then to find a real good partner and not just do it because you want to do it. I think the tables like this, it's opportunity to get to know a little bit somebody and also to see performances and then maybe start some kind of collaboration. That's how I met Katarina. And it's really, really nice because in this case, you can explore, you can have time to explore also, and companies can get to know each other well and or better. And then I think that this circle is getting bigger and bigger. That's how I met Peter also. And now I think that it's like we're having family meeting here, but no, it's not family meeting. But it's really because of places like this and festivals like this that we met each other and that we started working together. That's it.
Yes, maybe if Buga and Anya wants to say something about practical advice, suggestions.
Well, I just forgot we have so many international festivals in Croatia, you know. Somehow it doesn't seem as if they are international sometimes. So there's a thing, sometimes you have to know people, but here I see that Sanja Frival joined with her Clicker Festival. Maybe she can say a couple of words about the Clicker Festival.
Okay,
Or if
Sanja, if you are with us, so you can.
Sorry,
maybe
Buga.
because Buga is holding. Hi everyone. Sorry for my picture being off. I'm just a bit in a family setting and also try to keep in a listening thing. But maybe Buga has her hand up for a while, so maybe I let her say, and then I can just 3 sentences. I can just say hi and present what we do.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what I'm struggling right now, I took over the theater from my parents. I'm quite new at this. And what I'm actually struggling with is knowing all of these festivals. I think the older crew is like, yeah, we know in Verona it's the here and here is this and Senja and everything. And yes, there is some info on Asitež, but not every festival is on Asitež pages. So if you do have some kind of a link or somewhere where all other festivals, for instance, in Italy are announced or something, that would be really nice to know, and I would be very grateful. Yeah, I think also non-verbal theater is about dance, of course. Sanja is a different, but non-verbal theater collaborations are really incredible, and I haven't seen that.
I'm sorry. Buga, if you can stay, okay, because we can hear you very well. Okay, thank you very much.
So, yeah,
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to. I just said that I'm new in this. I took over from my parents the theater, so I'm now listening to, oh yes, this is festival in Verona and this is festival here, and I'm like, oh what? I never heard of these festivals. So I know that there are links on Asitež website and everything, but maybe not every festival is also part of Asitež. So if there is maybe an Italian page or somewhere some links where you can find some other festivals that you can share, that would be really nice for a newbie like me. I would be very grateful. And yeah, I think collaborations. Also, what I think our problem is that we don't have that much contact, and we don't have so much education in theater for children and young audiences. You can't study that. Directors learning it don't have any. They don't at the academy. They don't even mention theater for children and young audiences. Non-verbal theater is a totally other thing. As Sanja will talk about, like dance in general in Croatia is totally off. So, and I think non-verbal theater can be so productive, especially for co-productions. So I'm also hoping, we talked about it in Croatian Asitež as well, that to bring all of you guys to like educate young people, including me, and just to communicate more. Firstly, learning about what is happening in the world in theater for children and young audiences, and then hopefully collaborations will be born out of that. Yeah, I just hope that we will be able to bring more of the education as well in Croatia.
Okay, I jump in.
Yes, go.
I try. I was putting. Sorry, I just joined, so I missed, I guess, the good 45 minutes of this meeting. So I apologize if this is now like totally out of context, but I couldn't come before. We just finished our 6th festival edition on Sunday. Clicker Festival is a festival of dance movement and igra. How do I translate this on English that it doesn't sound stupid? I don't know. But anyway, it's like it's basically a dance festival for young audience. We are covering all age groups from 0 to young adults, and also are very dedicated to intergenerational collaboration. So there are many different kind of projects that we support. We are a festival that doesn't only host performances, but we also co-produce, and we work very intense internationally because of the already mentioned maybe lack of dance productions for young audience in the country. So although but we are like super informed, and I really pay a lot of attention to see everything that considering dance and movement is done in the country, and am able then through the festival to present what fits in our festival context and to our audiences, which is in the meantime very well educated, I would say. So there is something very valuable of mentioning, I think, in this context. This is my sick kid coughing behind. Sorry. So in this international context, especially in the region, we are for now the second 3-year cycle working in a regional platform called Generator. I will drop you also a link inside of the chat, like Generator platform. And this is inside of Generator platform. There are at the moment 9 organizations, from which 2 are from Croatia, 1 from Italy, 1 from Slovenia, 1 from Austria, 2 from Austria, 3 from Germany, and 1 new joining in from Turkey. And in the context of Generator platform, we have been doing many different things, starting from like supporting artists in creative processes to different kind of mediation projects, international laboratories, and also co-productions, and sharing the programs between the festivals that the partner organizations are organizing. So, and there was a very nice link happening to Italy also, maybe, which is not so unimportant for this whole Asseter story. I was there since the very beginning, very much involved in creation of Young Dance Network. I think some of you know about it. And Young Dance Network has a very strong seat somehow in Europe, I guess, although there are members of the board now from all over the continent. And there is also a little program fragment in Visione in 10 days or something like this, 2 weeks. So maybe this is also just a little invitation maybe to join this program online. It's going to be possible to join it online also in 2 weeks. Okay, maybe enough for me. If you want to know anything more about it, I don't know if there is something interesting to talk about, considering what the topic of the conversation is really at the moment. Maybe I'm just there, just drop a question or check the website, or yeah, write me an email.
Okay, thank you very much, Sania. I think that it's 5:30, so I would let the floor to the questions, and even if somebody online or live wants to add or ask something, we are here.
Maria Giulia, it's Bruno from La Baracca. I just wanted to add about what Sania just said, that the YDN day will be on 28th of October. And you find online and also in our program all the news if you want to join, because there is a part in presence, but also a part online. So basically, I underwrite what she said. And if anybody of you would be interested in joining the common schedule and common calendars of the festival, please ask to me or to Cristina about Visioni and Segni, which will be in the same period just after Trallallero.
And I will put in the chat the link to register to Visioni and Segni, both festivals. So if you want to come last minute and join us, it will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, I will have to join finally. Okay, from the car directly, Christina. Okay. Yes. Do you want to have something that we missed?
Yep. We are here to answer your question. So
questions. Also from online, I see Elena, which works with Slovenia and a lot with puppet. So if Elena wants to say something or make some questions.
Hello, everyone. I was not really prepared of intervening to say anything, so it's a bit difficult. No, we have been working rather a lot with both with Katarina and with Lutke and Slovenia, and also in Croatia at some different kind of situations. I think it's really interesting. I think that we saw something. I saw in Rijeka some years ago, exhibition of Peter, something that he did when we were there with the performance. But I talk about 6-7 years ago, maybe. If you remember, you were there. We were there with the performance. I think that it should be very, very important to try to reinforce the connections between our countries, even though it's difficult because of the languages. It's really difficult, as we have often problems with the language, with our performances, that there's too much text, and you try to do with subtitles, and you try to find solutions, but for kids, you can't do with subtitles if they're not a little bit bigger. So, but we are always feeling very, very well when we are coming to situations both in Slovenia and Croatia, and really, I hope that it would be possible to continue and to enforce from both sides the exchange and try to understand, and maybe also to talk about how could we find a solution for the language problem. I know we were kind of some years ago, in 13, 14, there was this project in ACT of 8 European countries, Balkanic, Italy, and Austria. And then there was a lot of projects about talking a lot about translations, about the dramaturgy, but it dropped all off because it was really difficult to find out how could we find a solution for that, because of course Slovenia and Croatia and Serbia has not that big problem for language, but for Italian it's a big difference. And if you're in Rijeka or if you are in Ljubljana, you're close to the borders, so a lot of people understand. But when you're in Zagreb or when you are in Maribor, you are already a bit off. It's less people living there that can understand it. You can't. You feel like also to come and say, but we don't need to translate our performance because Italian it's an important language. It's not that easy, I think. So that could be a challenge to try to understand how to work, to collaborate without not only thinking about performances without word. That's one challenge I can put there. For the rest, so I don't know really what to say. I hope that this could come out something good from this meeting, and I'm very glad that Travaglero that you have organized it. And let's hope that it will be possible to continue. So if you have any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Elena. Buga has risen her hand.
I'm just going to, as an opera singer, opera is performed in Croatian and Italian. We have no problem with that. So opera is, as an opera singer, I'm always like, opera for children, do something with the voice and collaborate with opera, because I think I don't know how it is in Italy. I know that at La Scala they do like opera per I bambini, but everything is very like shortened operas and everything. I think voice in general and music, classical music especially, is really underused, and there's so much that can be done. I believe more, especially for babies. They adore singing and they adore voice. So with opera, you understand each other without text. So yeah, I just that's also we already talked about it, I think, in Astesh Congress, but that's something that I think is a very interesting field. And if anyone is doing anything about that, please, I'll write my email in the chat. Please send me everything you have, or yeah, contact me. That's something I think is really a great field. And I mean, Italy and opera is just it's a synonym.
Okay, we will take this suggestion. More opera for everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Maria
see
Giulia,
also
can I,
your question.
can I, Linda, did you
Yes,
have a
yes.
question, or may I jump in? Okay.
There was a question
Where?
of Buga about the rules now in the kindergartens and the school, how it works, I think in Italy. So if you want also to add this information, Christina, while you're jumping in.
Yeah, I wanted to tell that this proposal from Buga Maria was really one of the things that we need from this chain reaction meeting. That means we are here to listen to how the structure is in your country, so which are the festival, and we have learned that there is in both countries there is a really strong relation or connection and closeness between puppet theater and children theater that is specific from your country, that maybe we already knew, but sometimes to refresh that it helps to better understand, even when you go and look at the show, because it comes, there is a story that is important to share to understand a country. Then there is also the other side of the coin, that is, how do you look at us? How do you perceive us? That can end in a simplification, make more shows on pizza so that we don't need the language. But of course, the example of opera is a very clear kind of sparkling that can put that can create an idea or a wish of cooperation, because maybe there is someone that is doing something on voice on stage and on opera, and maybe to do that only with Italian artists, or from our point of view, that can be interesting. And just to through paths and to draw paths, possible paths, we know now that Buga Maria from Alla Scena, she's interested in something like that, and maybe just connecting by email with them or showing rehearsal and asking her, what do you think? And this can be done, even we have learned it in this pandemic time, online. We don't really need, then of course we can meet us, and it's fantastic and we want to do it, but I really invite you to let your brain open to this synapses and connection at other level that can inspire us, because we really need to exchange information and also inspiration. So this is interesting from your point of view, but I will not make it longer. Anya wants to add something.
Yes, I mean, realized I made a couple of years ago, I made international co-production with people from Japan. So what happened, and maybe this is also a quite open and nice solution. We just wanted to work together, and we had one starting point, and this was, we want to make a performance about intercultural relations. So this was it, for kids. And then we did it. So basically it was in both Japanese and Croatian, but we developed during the process. So we had one week of working together in Croatia, and then 2 weeks in Japan. And after that, we had premiere. So it was a performance which played for a couple of times, of course. It was like really limited because of our time as well, and money-wise, of course. But during this process of living together and working together, we developed the language of our own. So basically, it was a game, quite playful performance on what makes us different and what makes us the same. What makes us human, what makes us feeling love and emotions and friendship and so on. But we were using words, and it was something which was really interesting. But I think what was important during this is that we let this process be open, and we didn't have any kind of restriction. We weren't afraid of our differences and of our language barriers. Of course, we didn't know Japanese. Sometimes Japanese have problem with English. So basically there was a gap, but somehow we managed to use this gap in a really, really productive way. So at the end, we had a performance, which was like 40 minutes performance. It was a kind of eclectic mashup of everything, but kids loved it. Of course, we had the director. I was a dramaturg of the performance, and the director was Japanese, and he knew what kind of what kind of style and language is interesting for kids in Japan, but it was sold out, and it was like really directions were beautiful. So this is also maybe a way just to, I mean, then you have to spend time together and get to know each other and so on, but also a way to just keep it like experiment. If you want to make this kind of risk, of course, it's always risky because it's unconventional and it's not like classical dramatic theater. But it could be challenging, but it could be also really, really nice and responsive to kids, and vice versa.
May I ask some questions? For example, for me, I have 3 questions, and I am making it smaller than what I should ask. 1, did you have any distribution of this project? So it means, was that
no.
project? Okay.
Yeah.
But was it meant to have a distribution and it didn't function, or it was?
I think somehow, you know, because everyone has to do a lot of stuff during our lives, and in the meanwhile, the world has changed, and we also, and Japan is on the other side of the world. But I think this could function between people who know each other, and if we are like in the smaller territory, smaller European territory, I think it would function.
Okay. Okay. How did you get in contact, and how did you found the process?
So the producer of the Croatian, from the Croatian side, met a Japanese director on ACTEJ World Congress, I think in South Africa. So this was like they met, they somehow liked each other, and they realized they could work. There is some Japanese foundation for performing arts. We applied for fundings, and we got some kind of, it wasn't big money, but for Croatian standards it was basically really
Can you
good
tell
money.
us how much is big money for you? Because this is also interesting to share.
For us, I think everything what's more than 10,000 euros is a lot.
Okay.
Because sometimes we get like 700 euros to make a performance from my Ministry of Culture, and that's a true story. When we are talking about Croatian fundings and Croatian ministry, I don't know how they think we can make a performance with 700 or 800 euros, but they are serious about it, and they give it to you, and they think and they expect from you to make a performance with this kind of money.
May I
The same
put a
level.
question? Can I put a question on that?
Yes,
in
go
that
ahead.
In the 700, is it also the salaries of the people inside that, or are they a part? Or is it just
Everything.
production, everything?
So
because
it's
that depends in different countries, how you see.
And what
It's
about the other
artistic
country?
fee.
We can
Sorry?
all go for pizza together.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, Anya, is there anyone from the other country that is can tell us which is the average of big money and how much is the average from one performance? Because this is also interesting in Europe. I mean, we know we have differences, but this is also interesting.
This is question for me. No. No.
No, it's a question
For
from
everyone.
the other guest.
Okay.
If they want to answer to this question, that is of course delicate, but it's about how it tells a story, as you spotlighted, about how the government thinks about us and which is the value that is given to art in the society. And second question, are the fee for artists for young audience same than adults?
No, never, never, ever. Now we have example in Croatia. Sorry if I'm taking over the space, but I'm quite passionate when it comes to this. We have the situation, a kind of, how to say it, association for dramaturgs and scenario playwrights and also scriptwrights, made a kind of, how do you say, if anyone can help me from my language space?
Standardized fair pay.
Yeah, for dramaturgs and playwrights. And when it comes to theater for young audience, their recommended fee is lowest, and then it's dance, and then it's drama theater. So I put the question yesterday. If there is a quantitative criteria on why is theater for adults more, how to say, if people who are making theater for adults are being better paid than theater for children, because theater for adults is bigger and lasts longer. Why is there this kind of disbalance in dance and theater for young audiences? I think theater for young audiences anyhow under like any standard of dignity, at least.
So it was just to go back, if any one of the other guests wants to add something on this dramatic topic of economy, but that can give us a kind of measure on this discussion. I have the last question for you, Anya. So the co-productive process was founded basically from the Japan Foundation.
Yeah.
So from the Japan side. And
no, it was Croatian side. That's a funny thing.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I mean, you as a Croatian were applying to the Japan Foundation.
Yes.
That this is something that can be interesting for our colleagues, because this is open also to Italian artists to be done,
yes.
To apply. And I believe that there is an opportunity to have, for example, triangles. That means, for example, my task is always to through sparklings and create fires. Maybe we can ask for an Italian, Croatian, or Italian, Slovenian co-production on opera founded in collaboration with Japan, and work on their traditional theater, and make an exploration, exploring no text-based performance on this kind of, which are the common point, because we have the opera and they have their all dance and form of theater. So why not?
Well, I would say the starting point is always a goodwill. So absolutely, why not? Yeah.
But that just depends, you know, what is your starting, what's your motivation? You know, you don't go there to where, or you go there where there is money, or you go there where your heart pulls you. I don't know. Like between Croatia and Italy, there are a few possibilities. For example, last year we had a group of 5 dancers and from Italy with an Italian choreographer, and they got funded from Italy for a residency. I don't have now in my head exactly what was the name of the foundation, but it was an Italian foundation that supported their residential adventures abroad. That's how we got them there. And also Italian embassy in Zagreb, they are, I don't know now at the moment, people that are working there, but I used to also collaborate through them. They are mostly excited about anything happening in Istria or in Rijeka. But it's also, you know, because there is like a lot of Italian minority people. So they are willing to sometimes to support guest performances or, I don't know, collaborations. This is more like, with some embassies is easier than with Italian, but yeah.
Thank you, Sanya. Thank you. I mean, of course, we are not trying to follow the money path, but the heart path is always more interesting. Anyway, we can. One of the main goals of the chain reaction meeting is also to exchange all this information. It's a matter of resources. Information are precious. So since we have 10 minutes before closing, because in Trallalero there is a show that is running in 10 minutes, you need to go. So if there is one more question, maybe we can take it. But remember that we will be more than happy if you want to drop us an email after this meeting to, for example, Sanya, say if you recover this information, to share it, because we will produce information that will be shared, that we call the chain reaction dialogues diary, that are accessible to everybody and implementable from everybody. So because chain reaction is a place in which we like and we believe is important to share information.
I just wanted to share quickly that this topic of not understanding each other can be the topic of a show and can be the whole problem. We actually did a co-production with also Japan. There was a Japanese actress who came to Croatia, and we did the show with her, with a Croatian dancer and with her. And we also did this international co-production for Superhero. Actually, there's the link for a trailer, and there was like German and Chinese and Taiwanese and Japanese and everything. And the topic was, how do we communicate today with so many differences? So I think that's also, I had experience. I performed in Gdańsk. I performed in English for children, and I had a translator who didn't speak English. And then I took some words, and it was so fun for children when I said, I don't know, dziękujem, and they were like, oh my God, she speaks Polish. So I think just already that play with words and not understanding each other is already a dramatic situation that can be used and can be really fun. And then going into dance or going into song or just trying to communicate, I think, is already a show in itself.
Do you want to have something?
No, I said that they do the meeting, nobody speaking from here. They could speak. They can continue speaking. Kidding, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it would be also good to have a one-time a reverse chain reaction, so that, for example, we from Slovenia and Croatia would hear about Italy more exactly, because I discovered a lot in the last year of very excellent examples of your work. which I once wrote on Facebook a couple of months ago, that we would only can dream of having such experiences that we have in Italy at home. So it would be good to organize also a reverse meeting one time.
Yes.
Maria Giulia, can I just
promise?
See, anche perché I need to add something, dear colleagues. You can have a reverse meeting because chain reaction is made that way. That means that you can host us physically or digitally, and we will come and basically from the project that is funding all those meetings, we have money to reach your festival in case you want to arrange this in festival, or to arrange it in a digital way. And the first scene that we will describe and present is the scene of the 6 festival partners and of all the associated partners that are joining this process. So you can definitely take care of that and contact us, and we will take care of doing this in your country.
Yep.
Super.
We didn't answer.
So maybe if
we didn't answer to the question of Buga about Italian rules for schools. So maybe Buga, because it is a jungle for us too, so it's not easy to answer. That's why maybe we didn't answer. In fact, theaters are open, but rules in schools and for schools are more strict. So if you are able to cooperate with schools or not, it depends about the interpretation of the rules done by schools. Every single school decides by itself, and in this moment we don't have a universal guideline. So maybe things will change, but we don't know yet. Sorry, but just to answer.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. This is the truth, and I affirm, because here in Trallallero we have schools and kids from schools at the show, and now the possibility of theater is 100%. It's a theory because the schools want to keep 1 meter distance mouth to mouth and distance between the classroom and another one, so you have to leave a long seat empty, and so your capacity of theater is about 40% if you are lucky. And so this is the situation, but as Jessica said, everybody decide in a different way. Every school decide on its own. So it's this is okay. So I want to thank you, everybody, and also the people here from the live scene. Let's make a whoa. I don't know if you hear
We
them.
want to see them, Maria Giulia. We want to see
You
them.
want,
Turn
okay.
your camera.
And now, yes, someone of them go out to reach the show, but now maybe we can show the. Ah, yes, I turn my camera.
Laptop.
Maybe
Your laptop.
See.
It's easy.
Yeah. Can you see them?
Oh, you see the distance between them. Bravi, safe.
Okay. And so maybe Christina, we can give another time the next appointments, and then I want to thank you really everybody here from Trallallero in the Friuli Venezia Giulia region.
Maybe Eleonora, who wrote to us, can collect their email.
Yes, of course, Eleonora, at the end of this meeting, will write everybody the emails and the contacts and the websites you put in the chat. We will make a report and we will send it to everybody, so you will have it. Okay, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good festival.
Thank you.
Bye.
Enjoy, bye.
Bye.